Hey guys, it's Tim and this is Wrestling Unlimited as it's Monday. And that means tonight was Monday Night Raw. First tonight's Monday Night Raw, I will say, great show. Flew by. Wasn't as good as last week. I feel like last week was a better show. I'll say that right off the rip. Last week was better, but this week was still really, really good. Like, I thoroughly enjoyed tonight's Raw. Got some interesting video packages I wasn't expecting, like the one with Chad Gable and I was kind of expecting the Chad Gable Sami Zayn one, because we talked last week how we thought maybe Chad Gable would train Sami Zayn. Did not expect that video package from Drew McIntyre. That one caught me off guard. I was like, "Ooh, what is this?"
I thought it was a Bo Dallas one, because I saw like the ponytail. I saw the ponytail and I was like, wait, is that Bo?
Gotcha. But yeah, no. Other than that, though, like, really good show. I thought this show was really good. Built up a bunch of stuff for WrestleMania. And now I have a question for you, Luke. So the show ends with The Rock and Roman Reigns beating the crap out of Cody and Seth. Is this the last that we see of these four guys before WrestleMania, not counting the Hall of Fame because they're both involved in the Hall of Fame ceremony? You think they're going to do anything on SmackDown with Cody, Roman, Seth, and Rock?
I would think they would have to, since Roman's a SmackDown guy.
I mean, not necessarily. I mean, technically, Roman's supposed to be on both shows with both belts, if you think about it.
Well, Roman's just the Universal Champion, though. Raw has their own world title now.
Yeah, you're right. I'm thinking the tag titles. I was forgetting the whole Seth's got a belt.
Yeah, so
yeah, you're right. I mean, they don't have to. What if, oh, I got an idea. What if Paul Heyman is like, I want chaos in my induction, and if Cody comes out and attacks Roman while he's giving the speech to induct Paul Heyman?
Or after, while they're celebrating, Cody comes out and just beats up Roman, and then The Rock comes out.
Also, what was with these dumbass fans in Brooklyn chanting for CM Punk, thinking like he's going to come out and make the save? What the hell? They're at the end of the show? Like, what?
Come on. What are we doing here?
No, this guy can't get physical. He's actually, Punk said a lot today on the MMA Hour podcast, the Area Hawani show. And one of the things was, this was I think a slight jab at AEW. He said, if it was up to me, I'd do something physical at WrestleMania. But they're looking out for me like no one has before. Something like that is what he said. Basically, what he was saying was, WWE knows that I'm injured, and they're going to take my best interest at heart or whatever, and make it so it's like, nope, you're not doing anything to not get further hurt. But where I've been before, they would have said, yeah, go do whatever you want and go do stuff hurt. Is basically what he said. And I've said that before, that I've been told by people that in AEW, it's like, suck it up, go work. You can do it.
I mean, that is kind of true. Tony Khan, he always wants people to work even when they're not 100%.
I mean, Britt Baker worked with that wrist brace for 6 months.
I mean, didn't CM Punk come back not 100% after like his match with like Hangman or something at Double or Nothing?
No, he talked about it today. Well, no, I don't think so. I know he talked about it today, but I was kind of like in and out doing other things as well. But I don't know if it was that he wasn't 100%. Well, maybe. I don't know. I'd have to go back and listen, because he talked about it today on the podcast.
Because I know he got crushed by like John Moxley in that one world title match.
Yes.
For like both belts. And a lot of people were like, was Punk 100%?
Well, that's the thing. That's the thing. He had to work that match slightly injured to get the title to Moxley. But, if you didn't listen to CM Punk on the MMA Hour, they went very long with Punk. And basically, Ariel Helwani asked him everything. And Punk talked about everything he was allowed to talk about. So there's rumors that Punk had to sign multiple NDAs while in AEW. He said he only ever had to sign one. And that's for the stuff that happened with the Young Bucks and Kenny Omega. All the stuff with like Jack Perry, it's all good. he could talk about that, and he did in length. Basically was like, Jack Perry was being a dick, yelling at people, cussing them out, saying, I'm going to do what I want to do. And so Tony Schiavone went and got him and was like, hey, so Jack Perry wants to do this, where he wants to smash a window on a rental car, and we don't think it's the right thing to do. And he's not listening. He's cussing everybody out. So maybe you can talk to him about it. And so Punk went to him and was like, first off, I was told this guy's not going to be here on Saturdays because, you know, certain people are going to be on Saturdays, certain people are going to be on Wednesdays. And now he's here trying to, you know, cause a problem and this and that. And Punk's like, I went to him and said, hey, listen, we can't be smashing windows on a rental car because then the next time we come to this city, no one's going to want to rent to wrestlers because they're going to think wrestlers are just going to, you know, wreck their cars and whatnot and stuff. So he said that he thought everything was fine. They didn't do the thing. And then they get to all in London, and Jack Perry does the Cry Me a River thing. Punk was in his locker room, get ready for his match, and goes to Tony and goes, what was that about? You need to handle this. And he said, Tony didn't handle it. So he tried to have a conversation with Jack. Jack basically stepped to him. He's like, I didn't throw any punches or nothing. I just put a choke on him. As soon as Joe came up and said, stop, I stopped because it's Joe. He's like, but for Tony to say that he feared for his life and he felt he was in danger, he's like, there was nothing that happened that Tony would have been, and anybody would have felt that they were in danger for their life. That's just a couple of the things he talked about. Other than that, and also he said multiple times, AEW is not a real business. They're only here to put on cool, fun matches, and they're not a company that is looking to sell tickets, get good TV ratings, or make a profit. I'm like, fuck. And then he said it a second time, and I'm like, geez. Then he said it a third time, and I go, God damn. So.
Well, I know before he signed with AEW, he talked about like how unprofessional they were because the Young Bucks tried to like sign him like through text message, and Punk said how unprofessional that is.
He said every time they tried to reach out to him, it was through a text message. And he confirmed that before going to AEW, he did reach out to WWE and really got nothing back. And then, yeah, so.
He wanted to go back to WWE,
yes,
but
originally.
Vince kind of said no.
Basically.
But Vince said no, then he was like, fine, I'll just go to AEW then.
He really wanted back in wrestling. He wanted to get back in the business, help the new generation, new stars, this and that. And yeah, everyone's like, oh, he's only in WWE because AEW fired him. AEW was his second choice. He only went to AEW because Vince wouldn't hire him. Also, last thing I'm going to do before we wrap up this CM Punk talk. He talked about his return and how he said that Survivor Series was the Saturday after Thanksgiving. The week before Thanksgiving, he got a call from Nick Khan because Nick Khan found out he was free, good to go, and was like, hey, would you maybe want to talk? Punk's like, actually, I'm busy at the moment. I have this going on. I'm doing commentary for this MMA stuff. Can we talk on Monday? And Nick Khan's like, I will call you Monday. He said that Nick Khan called him Monday, and that is when they started talking about a return. He also said that Nick Khan thought that CM Punk had a a non-compete. And literally, Nick Khan told him, if I knew you didn't have a non-compete, I would have been calling you so much earlier. So that's why WWE and him didn't come to a deal till like last minute, because WWE thought he wasn't allowed to talk to them. But regardless, he said that talked with Nick Khan. Nick Khan told him Triple H wanted to speak to him, but not just talk to him on the phone. Triple H wanted to actually have like a face-to-face kind of conversation, so they FaceTimed on like Thanksgiving. He said that his lawyers had to work overtime on Thanksgiving to get the deal done because he's like thinking about it, and he was like, Nick Khan tells him, well, if we can't get a deal done by Survivor Series, we can always bring you in at WrestleMania, or not WrestleMania, at Royal Rumble. And Punk told Nick Khan, no. If it's not Survivor Series in Chicago, it's not going to work out. And so they worked quickly to get it done. He said the only people he knew were the lawyers, him and his wife, Triple H, and Nick Khan. If anybody else knew, then that was news to him. He said he didn't even tell his family he was going back to WWE until he was driving to the building that night. He said he called up someone in his family and was like, hey, you're going to hear some stuff tonight. I'll talk to you all about it tomorrow, but I just want to give you a heads up before you start hearing a bunch of stuff about me. And he said that he was there. He signed his contract literally before he walked into Gorilla. to walk out. So, and Becky even said it last week when she was on the MMA Hour podcast. Seth didn't know. There's rumors that, everybody in the War Games match was told ahead of time. According to Becky, Seth did not know. Seth was not told ahead of time that, hey, just a heads up, CM Punk's coming out at the end of this show after your match. According to Becky, no, that's not true. She said that she was in Gorilla. Punk walked up. She was shocked, gave him a fist bump, and Punk walked out there. So, yeah, it all came together super quickly in like 48 hours. Sorta. Like he had the first talk with Nick on Monday, talked to Triple H on like Wednesday, Thursday, or whatever, and everything was put into play in time for Saturday. So, yeah, great listen. If you haven't watched it, go watch it. There's also a Rhea Ripley, Becky Lynch little confrontation. They just shot at Angle. So
I saw that.
I definitely
saw that.
They replayed that on Raw too. So yeah, really cool, really good stuff. Like Punk just was like, "Whatever you're gonna ask me, you're gonna ask me." He's like, "I knew I was coming in here and getting just everything asked to me." And like he's like, "I'll talk about everything." So he said, now remembering really fast about him coming back before going to AEW, he said that he reached out in 2019 and nothing really came of it, but he thought that maybe there was a possibility. Then Fox reached out to get him on the backstage show, and he said something along the lines of, "I'm going to do this, and I'm going to do it to my best abilities. I'm not going to do this just as a avenue to try to get back into WWE. If I'm going to do this show for Fox, I was going to do it to the best I could and not be like half-assed just to try and get conversations with the company." So, and then he said when that show ended, WWE wasn't interested. He went to AEW. So, very, very interesting. But with that, I want to say thank you for joining us here. Twitch.tv/PWU Unlimited, YouTube.com/Pro Wrestling Unlimited, and podcast services all around the globe like Stitcher, Spotify, Google Pod, Apple Pod, Anchor, iHeartRadio, and so much more. Remember, if you are watching live on Twitch, you can help us out a couple of different ways. You can either help us out by hitting that donate button down below or by donating Twitch bits in the live chat. Also, remember, you can help us out by subscribing to the channel one of two different ways. You can either subscribe with a tier subscription, or you can subscribe with Amazon Prime, because remember, if you have Amazon Prime, then you have Prime Gaming. Prime Gaming gives you a lot of cool things like free games, free stuff for games, and you always get one free subscription to any Twitch channel you want to subscribe to, and I'd greatly appreciate it if you did right here, Pro Wrestling Unlimited. Excuse me. Also, remember, head over to YouTube and do a couple things for us over there. Hit that subscribe button. That way you know when we post new videos. That way you know when we go live. And that way you know when we post to the community tab. Hit that join button to become a channel member. A great way to support the channel is by becoming a channel member. And also, remember, if you want to get your comment, question, or concern read live on the air, do so by submitting a super chat. Finally, head over to the Epic Game Store. Head over to the Epic Game Store and buy something. Whether you're buying a new game, whether you're buying an old game, whether you're claiming a free game or getting bucks for Rocket League, Fortnite, or Fall Guys, use this code right here, PW Unlimited at checkout, and you will be supporting us at no extra cost. Whether you're getting Horizon Forbidden West, which is a really good game, maybe you're claiming the free game is lit, or you're getting stuff for Fortnite, regular Fortnite Lego, or Fortnite Racing, Rocket Racing. Use code PWU NLIMITED for all Epic Games and Epic Game Store purchases. But with that, let's jump back over. Boom. So as far as Monday Night Raw does go, Monday Night Raw does open up, and Michael Cole was clearly reading lines off of a piece of paper after they showed us a recap of the stuff with The Rock and Cody Rhodes that ended last week's show. Also, which was really cool, is they showed us the current construction going on in Lincoln Financial Field on the stage for WrestleMania. They gave us a little sneak peek at what the stage is going to look like, even though we've already seen photos of it. But they gave us a little sneak peek at the start of SmackDown, or start of Raw, of like, hey, work's going on, setting up the stadium. we're in full gear. So I like that a lot. I thought that was really, really cool that they showed us all of that. And then they were like, and then don't forget, the show is commercial free for the first hour.
You think they'll do like this, the WrestleMania 40 stage reveal like they did for like past WrestleManias?
Yes, they said it's happening Thursday night. They already announced that. Stage reveal Thursday night. I can tell you what time. They said it on why do I keep saying SmackDown? They said it on Raw. Hold on. I think they gave a time. It didn't say a time. It just said Thursday, WrestleMania XL set reveal on X, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, TikTok, and Twitch. So actually, I'm going to pull this up on the screen really fast. There's a bunch of stuff happening this week for WWE. I'm going to pull this image up on the screen really quickly, actually. So, as far as this week does go for WWE, tomorrow we have NXT. Wednesday on NXT on the USA Network. Wednesday on Twitter, X, we have the debut of WWE Speed. Thursday on all WWE social media platforms, we do have the WrestleMania set reveal. So the stage is going to be done sometime Thursday. Friday on WWE social media is the WrestleMania kickoff show. Basically, it sounds like it's going to be just a bunch of like panels, like wrestlers coming on, talking, answering questions, this and that, and whatnot. Then on Fox, we have SmackDown. Following that on Peacock, we have the countdown to the Hall of Fame and then the Hall of Fame. Also, it sounds like WWE is no longer doing the kickoff thing for the pre-shows. The pre-shows look like they're not called the kickoff anymore, because if you look here, Hall of Fame, countdown to Hall of Fame, countdown to Stand and Deliver, countdown to WrestleMania. So the kickoff event, it's a 2-hour event, I think, airing on, I think, Peacock and all social platforms. SmackDown, Hall of Fame countdown, and then Hall of Fame. Saturday, we have the countdown for Stand and Deliver, and then Stand and Deliver. We have the countdown for WrestleMania, and then WrestleMania Night 1. Following that, a WrestleMania press conference. Sunday, on all social platforms, is the Slammy Awards, then the countdown to WrestleMania. Then we have WrestleMania Night 2, and then following that, another WrestleMania press conference. So there's technically 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16 things for the rest of the week for WWE. And that doesn't even count. Then you go back to Monday next week, you got Raw. Then you got next Tuesday, you got NXT. So a bunch of stuff. But with that, Rock comes out to open up the show, and we actually get Rocky chants. Like they're chanting for The Rock. Kind of mixed chants, but they're chanting for The Rock here. So Rock said, "That boy bled last week." Kyle Dalley starts chanting "what?" And The Rock plays into the "what" chants, where he's delivering his lines in a way to wait for the "what" chant. He would like say it, da 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 da, what, da 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 da, what, da 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 da, what. Like he knew what was happening. And he was like, you know what? I'm not even gonna fight it. I'm just gonna play into it. He said he put Cody's blood all over the weight belt, and the only thing missing are the tears of Mama Rhodes. Rock told Rhodes that he would make him bleed, and that's exactly what he did. The Cody crybabies were very upset, according to The Rock. Rock could only laugh at the grown adult crybabies who were upset, but there was something that gave him pause. Rock then played 2 home videos of young fans crying from social media. This was kind of weird. I didn't know why they did this, but whatever. Rock then said, like that breaks his heart because he was a proud 3-time girl dad. Rock advised those parents to put the kids in front of the TV right now. Uncle Rock said that there were moments in life where a man had to do what a man had to do. There were moments in life when people talk shit when they shouldn't talk shit. That's what Rhodes did. So Rock had to beat his punk ass down. Crowd chanted for Rock and he soaked it in. Rock said, wrestling's cool again. The ratings have skyrocketed because of him. The fans tonight set a record for the largest gate in the history of Monday Night Raw, all because of him. Rock did his catchphrase introducing Roman Reigns. Rock spoke for Rock took about 5 minutes to get to the ring for his entrance. Then he spoke for almost 10 minutes. Then Roman came out, and it took him another 5 minutes to get down to the ring. Roman came out with Heyman, Jimmy, and Solo. Roman said that you may have saw my biography last night, and you know it's all about family. Family above all. Crowd started chanting yeet, and he goes, no yeet. Keep that up, and I'm going to leave. Reigns says that he wanted to thank his cousin because this was the easiest WrestleMania of his life. He would smash those fools on night 1, and he would have his way with Cody on night 2. Rock stood proudly as Reigns put over what he did to Rhodes. Rock thanked him again and for putting the family above all. He said that he set an example that only the final boss could set. Reigns and Rhodes. He said that Reigns said that Rhodes couldn't fit in his shoes. The Bloodline started making wrestling cool again all the way back in 2020, while Rhodes was off somewhere else doing a whole lot of nothing. AEW shot there. Reigns claimed that Rhodes wanted a piece of the action. Bloodline allowed him to enjoy it for a while, but they couldn't have that anymore. This was their mountain, and they ran this business. Out would then come Seth Rollins in the crowd. He really didn't say much other than he thought that everything they were doing was stupid. And he thought that, they told him, come get in the ring. And he said, you think I'm dumb? He then said, I want to challenge you to a match, Rock. I want to face you tonight. He goes, but I know you may not want to do that, so I'll settle for Roman if Roman wants to face me. So which of you have the balls to do it? Which of you have the nuts to face me, Rock or Roman? And Roman was like, yeah, you ain't getting either of us. You're going to face Solo, and it's going to be, so he said, you ain't getting either of us. Rock then said, you're going to face Solo. Rock then told Rollins, you know what? No, you're not going to face either of us. We're doing this, and it's Bloodline rules. Rock told Rollins that he beat Rhodes so badly that he has brain damage. Also forgot to mention, Michael Cole told us at the start of the show, Cody was not medically cleared to be here tonight, which basically told us Cody's coming out at the very end of the night. Rock then told Rollins he wasn't facing him, and the crowd booed, said Rocky sucks. The crowd booed, chanted Rocky sucks. Rollins then gave him credit for having the biggest bag in the Bloodline. Rollins accepted the fight solo. Rock said it was Bloodline rules and didn't tell us what that meant, which basically just means there are no rules. So this went 35 minutes and wasn't that bad. What'd you think?
That was pretty good. I thought it was a big surprise when he said I didn't come here alone. I thought it was pretty unexpected that Roman showed up.
Well, no, we knew Roman was going to be on Raw tonight. They had advertised it for a whole week and a half, Roman and Rock in Brooklyn.
I didn't see any of that.
Yeah.
I didn't get in the loop of stuff. I'm lacking.
Yeah, they've said it for the last, at least since not last SmackDown, but the SmackDown before. And especially last week, they plugged it really hard that Rock and Roman. Well, no. So I take that back. So like 2 weeks ago, they told us Rock will be on the final Raw in Brooklyn. Then last week is when they said Roman will be there as well. All of the Bloodline. But yeah, it's been 35 minutes, no commercial breaks. It was good. Because, and when I say it was good, this having no commercial breaks actually saved it from not going too long. Because usually they'll do the whole, Rock's going to come out for his entrance. Half of his entrance, the second half of his entrance is during the break. Roman's going to come out for his entrance. Second half of his entrance is during the break. But because they didn't have breaks, they had to kind of speed up their entrances. At least that's how I felt with it. That Roman couldn't take 8 minutes to walk out there because it wasn't like 4 of that was going to be during the break. Because they've done the thing in the past where it's like, here comes the Bloodline. And they walk out on the ramp and then the announcers will be like, we'll see what they have to say after this. And then they finish their entrance during the break. They didn't have that luxury tonight. So that's why I was like, this could have easily gone 45 minutes with commercial breaks. So I'm glad that there was no breaks and they put this at the beginning of the show. Also, and I don't know if this was just me, I felt like usually when they do this first hour commercial free, they like backload the second half of the end of like the last hour with extra commercials. It didn't feel like it though. Did it to you? Like they added extra commercials in that final hour?
I mean, I don't think so. No.
Yeah. Because it has before. Like I've noticed it in the past when they do the first hour commercial free and then like the last hour is heavy. This one didn't feel heavy on commercials. So we then get a clip of Becky Lynch and Rhea Ripley on the MMA Hour with Ariel Helwani. Basically, if you didn't see it, Rhea was a guest on the show. Becky kept trying to call Ariel Helwani, and then finally Rhea's like, "Is Becky calling you? Just answer it." And he's like, "Well, I don't want to answer it. That's disrespectful to you as the guest." And Rhea's like, "Nah, answer the phone." And Becky's like, "So I hear you talking crap. Can't get my name out of your mouth. You gonna do something about it?" And Rhea's like, "What are you gonna do about it?" And she's like, "Well, I'm here at the building if someone will let me in." And Ariel Helwani again was like, "Well, this is Rhea's interview. Rhea, what do you say? It's your call." Rhea's like, "Let her in. I don't care." So they let Becky in. Becky came in, and then they like shoved each other and had a little thing, but they kept them apart and broke a bobblehead. So Kathy Kelly then interviews Becky Lynch backstage. Lynch said that she was here tonight to finish what she started earlier today. She would be in the ring later on in the night if Ripley cared to answer. So yeah, very cool that they're branching out on these different publications and whatnot and different shows. I liked it. I liked that they did an angle here on not just WWE programming. Also, Rock and Roman are going to be on Fallon on Wednesday. You think Cody or Seth shows up and they do an angle on Fallon?
I can see it. I can honestly see it.
Like back in the day when WCW would do the angles on Leno. Maybe they did one or two before. Or when they did the Jerry Lawler, Andy Kaufman angle on Letterman.
I can honestly see that.
Yeah. Then it's like 50 minutes into the show when we finally get our first match. 8-man tag. It's the Judgment Day against DIY and the New Day. Match only goes about 5 minutes, though. So Balor had a welt on his forehead. They said that he got that big old bruise because of a match he had over the weekend with the New Day. I thought that was interesting. There was a crazy spot at one point where Gargano hit Dom with a suicide dive and overshot it and went face first into the mats. According to Fightful Sean Ross Sapp, he says that Gargano is fine. So,
yeah, I saw that. Yeah, I saw that scary spot, and I was like,
yeah,
I hope he's okay. Then,
right.
Then Sean Ross Sapp tweeted, he's fine.
So there's a lot of like guys just doing stuff in this match, and like early on, it broke down into like 8 guys just fighting everywhere. And I think it was Michael Cole was like, "Well, you know, this is a traditional tag match, so eventually they got to get some sort of control here." But eventually, Priest did hit Ciampa with the Razor's Edge and picked up the victory. Again, not much really happened in this match outside of like the guys brawling around the ring and this and that. So fun, interesting, just kind of like a, hey, here are all the SmackDown or all the Raw guys for the ladder match. Also, speaking of that ladder match, what did you think, before I get into that, what did you think of this tag match tonight?
I mean, tag match was kind of unorganized a little bit, so not really much to say other than Gargano having that scary spot.
I felt like it was rushed to get out of that first hour before they had to go to the first break.
Right.
So
that's how I feel.
So speaking of the ladder match, according to Dave Meltzer on Saturday's Wrestling Observer Radio, he hinted to the fact that, yes, Grayson Waller and Austin Theory have quote-unquote qualified for the ladder match at WrestleMania, but they may not end up in the match. He said there is a chance that they get pulled for somebody else, and that a meeting is supposed to happen this week to figure out if they're going to stay in the match or if they're putting another team in the match. So I assume that maybe that meeting is with free agents that may be coming into the company, and if they agree to come in, then they'll be in the match. If they don't agree to come in, then it's Waller and Theory. That's what I think. And the only free agents I know of, Motor City Machine Guns.
It would be cool.
So here's my only issue with this. It would be cool to have him debut at Mania. But the thing is, do they get a good reaction? Because I'm worried that if you have him debut on a big stage like Mania, there might not be a lot of fans that know who they are.
So I know when Alex Shelley did the stuff in NXT with Kushida, he got a good reaction, but that's the NXT crowd. The NXT crowd follows more of the outside WWE stuff. WrestleMania crowd, I don't know. Like, of course, their music's going to hit and we're not going to know who it is. It's going to say Motor City Machine Guns. maybe a good chunk of that audience not know who they are. So that you do have a valid point there. That there is a shot, a chance. If it is the Motor City Machine Guns, WWE or the WWE universe, good chunk may not know who they are.
Because when they did with the Hardy Boys, everybody knew who the Hardy Boys were.
Well, yeah, everyone knows who the Hardys are. They've had that music forever. You hear that. You hear that. You know exactly what it is and who it is. Like, no denying. You see purple and green on a screen in WWE, and it's the Hardy Boys.
And when Cody Rhodes returned to Mania, I mean, everyone knew Cody's theme.
Yep.
And also, Cody's been in WWE.
Right. But here's the thing. It's like, right now, you put a gun to my head, I couldn't even try to hum the Motor City Machine Guns theme. And plus, they're going to have...
Motor City.
Well, I mean, even at that...
Motor City.
But even at that, they're going to have to get a new theme for WWE, I would assume. Do they own that? Do they own that? Do they own that theme? I don't know. I don't know if they have the rights to it.
I think TNA owns it, but I think the reason why they got to use it in AEW for that one time because they had that partnership, I think.
Well, yeah, AEW and TNA work together. And granted, AEW or TNA and WWE have worked together as well, but this is a different situation.
I mean, yeah, this is a pretty different situation if you're actually trying to sign a former TNA talent. But it would be cool to see him in WWE, but I don't know if they want to go there because I feel like there's a good chance they might just go to AEW.
I mean, maybe. So my whole thing is like, if it's not the Motor City Machine Guns, who could that team be that Meltzer was alluding to? I saw a lot of people online, the Hardys. No, just because Matt Hardy's contract's up, Jeff's isn't. They added time to Jeff's contract when he was away.
Yeah, he's going to be in AEW for a while.
Yeah, so I have no clue who. That's the only tag team that I could think of with any notoriety. Like, there's probably some other indie tag teams that aren't signed anywhere, but not that WWE's going to bring in for a WrestleMania match, you know.
What about, what if it's like the Guerrillas of Destiny and like somehow Tonga Loa left New Japan?
The last I heard, his contract wasn't even close to being up, which I thought that as well. But his contract's not, as far as I've heard, not close. So unless like WWE does a payout or a buyout or whatever and says, hey, we'll pay you the rest of his contract to get him out of it or whatever. I don't know.
Yeah, and also Alex Shelley is a personal trainer outside of wrestling.
Physical therapist. I got it wrong when I told you that earlier. Physical therapist.
Yeah. So maybe I can also see him just going to AEW because like he could still become a physical therapist.
Yeah. I don't know if he's got his own practice or he works for somebody else, but it's like a big deal to him to the point where during COVID, he missed the TNA Hard to Kill pay-per-view. Because he was like, hey, my job says that I can't be around other people like that, so I'm going to skip the pay-per-view.
You know what grinds my gears about about Motor City Machine Guns like in TNA recently? When they had Alex Shelley as the world champion and Chris Sabin as the X Division champion, they had a missed opportunity for Chris Sabin to turn heel and do Option C on Alex Shelley.
Yeah, you're not wrong there.
That was a missed opportunity right there. Like, that would have been perfect.
Right.
That could have been your Bound for Glory main event right there.
So this next backstage segment actually gives us some breaking news. We're backstage with the Bloodline. And Roman is talking to The Rock. And they're talking about how they're going to have that match tonight, Bloodline rules and everything. And Roman's like, hey, I gotta leave. You cool with that? And Rock's like, yeah, what's up? He's like, I got to work on my speech. He's like, speech? He's like, yep, I'm inducting the Wise Man. Paul Heyman's like, he's like, I got to go work on my speech for the Wise Man. And so Roman walks off and Paul Heyman goes, in case you guys didn't fully grasp what just happened there, Roman Reigns will be inducting the Wise Man into the Hall of Fame this Friday night. Also, WWE kind of just grazed over this announcement. The Rock's grandma will be going into the Hall of Fame as well this weekend. The Rock's grandma will be going into the WWE Hall of Fame. So there will be her and the High Chief, Peter Maivia, I think are now the second husband-wife combo in the Hall of Fame. Because it's Edge and Beth. or Adam Copeland and Beth Phoenix. And I can't think of any other husband-wife duo in the Hall of Fame. Can you? Just Edge and Beth Phoenix, right?
Can't
That's all I could think
of anything.
Also,
No,
I want to thank Mr. I'm going to butcher your name, Peloni E805 for resubscribing as a channel member. Really do appreciate that one.
Yeah, it says Edge and Beth are the only Hall of Fame couple in WWE history, and have both been able to make their returns in the company.
Yeah.
So unless they like Michelle McCool down the line.
Fonzie, I forgot about Sharmell. Booker and Sharmell. I forgot about Sharmell.
Oh yeah.
I forget Sharmell's in the Hall of Fame.
Did she get inducted last year?
I believe so. Yeah. So. Really cool.
Or was last year Stacy Keibler?
Yeah, you're right. It was 2 years ago. Hold on, I got it right here.
No, last year was Stacy Keibler because I remember last year she wanted Mick Foley to induct her.
2022 was Sharmell. Also, interestingly, and I think you may have like kind of predicted this one. They didn't announce a Warrior Award, and you actually said it before. You're like, hey, would they even do one with Dana Warrior no longer being with the company? So,
they're not doing the one this year.
No Warrior Award announcement this year. At least not yet, unless they announce something in the next 2 or 3 days.
I don't see it happening.
Unfortunate, really unfortunate.
Yeah, I like the Warrior Award. I thought it was pretty cool. It was something unique.
Yeah.
It was like one of those awards that kind of made like the Hall of Fame actually like mean something.
Kinda, yeah. You're wrong. You're not wrong there. But so as far as the Hall of Fame does go, what we do know so far, Thunderbolt Patterson, I don't know the guy's name, but there's this like radio host that he said is going to induct him. Rock will be inducting his grandma Leah Maivia. Alundra Blaze is inducting Bull Nakano, and Roman Reigns is inducting Paul Heyman. We do not know who's inducting Muhammad Ali, and we do not know who's inducting the U.S. Express.
I thought Muhammad Ali's widow was inducting him.
Or is she doing the induction speech, or is she doing the acceptance speech? That's the thing. I don't know.
I'm not sure.
And then I can go for it.
Oh, I can think of it. What if Hulk Hogan was the one inducting him?
I was thinking it too.
I think Hulk Hogan would probably be an easy one.
And then U.S. Express, I can maybe see Bo doing it.
Bo Dallas?
Yeah. That's his dad and his uncle, Mike Rotunda and Barry Windham.
Oh yeah, that makes sense.
So moving forward,
I know a lot of people are pretty bummed that Bray didn't get inducted.
Well, did you hear what his dad said on why?
Yeah, I heard that.
The family's not ready for that kind of outpouring of support and whatever. It's not the right time for the family yet, and WWE knew it. So
I'd say he'll have to be the headliner like next year then.
Good chance, very good chance. Also, don't even get me started on that. Where the hell's Mania next year? We're got 5 days till WrestleMania, and they haven't even told us where next year's is. We always know by now. Like, what the hell? Is it Minneapolis, Minnesota, or is it somewhere else? Why? What?
Weren't the Titans supposed to get like a new stadium by now?
They've been working on it. Also, I think it would be no. Well, I mean, the Titans are getting a new stadium. The Bills are getting a new stadium too. But I think it's too soon from when they did SummerSlam in Nashville to bring a big WWE show like that back to Nashville again. Let me see.
Hey, Nashville's the closest place that I can go for a Mania.
Jeez. The Titans announced their plans for a new stadium back in 2019. Let me see.
Oh yeah, because that was the time where like WWE was like really impressed with their attendance for SummerSlam in Nashville.
Planned to open in 2027. The new stadium in Nashville.
Sheesh.
Yeah. They literally just started building it a month ago. February 29th, they broke ground. So yeah, they just started building it.
I mean, they were due for a new stadium anyway.
Yeah, and I know the Bills are getting a new stadium as well.
I mean, that'd be a cool spot for Mania, Buffalo, New York.
Right?
But weren't they rumored to go to Minnesota at one point?
Well, I mean, they're still rumored to go to Minnesota in the US Bank Stadium, whatever it's called. That's been the rumor. Nothing else has come out.
So. I mean, that's the spot that they'll probably most likely go to next year.
Yeah. I just don't know why they haven't announced it yet. Because they did like a city council meeting or whatever in Minneapolis. And they were like, yeah, we got another event that's most likely coming here that we wish we could announce by now. But they talked about how it's like, this event could bring $20 million in revenue to the city and this and that. And they're like, it's the second biggest event you could bring to a city other than the Super Bowl. And I'm like, oh, that's a Mania. Second biggest sporting event, it's a Mania.
Yeah, the likely location is Minnesota.
Fonzie. I didn't forget that the Jaguars may be getting a new stadium. You think WWE is going to run in the Jags stadium? Come on, Fonzie.
And I think for 42,
there's a reason.
Companies.
I would say there's a reason you can't get a Jaguars freaking WWE championship belt.
I mean, yeah, and there's also a rumor that while the location for WrestleMania 42 is currently rumored to be Vegas.
So here's the thing with that rumor. No one knows where that rumor came from. Like, all of a sudden, it just popped up, and everyone's like, no one knows why that people started talking about that. Which, honestly, I can see them going to Vegas for a Royal Rumble before they go there for a Mania. Because, well, it depends. How long is it going to take them to build that new A's stadium is the question. If it doesn't take too long to build that new A's stadium in Vegas, I could see them taking Royal Rumble to Vegas in that new baseball stadium.
Yeah. What?
Plus, if that thing's going to have the crazy screens that the renderings have, there's like a screen that literally is supposed to wrap around, like dome up over the top of the field. Like, if that's that, WWE's gonna have some fun with that.
So basically, just like another SoFi stadium, basically.
Well, no, hold on.
SoFi, they have that big screen on top, do they?
This is way different. Hold on. No, you need to see this.
Or is it the screen like outside?
No, hold on, watch. I got this right here from the Associated Press. They got the images. Come on, full screen it. There we go. So, pull this up here. If you look here, there's this like canopy that goes over, and this hole right here is supposed to be a screen.
Oh, they should have fun with that then.
I know. Who knows? And we don't know how much of this is a screen, if it's only this portion, but if it's all of this, just think of the holy crap the WWE can have. Like, yeah,
they can have a lot of fun with that for like the entrances.
Yeah, it just all depends because, like, as we've seen in the past, they come out the dugouts and stuff. So the dugouts are way over here, but they could do something, especially once it gets dark. Even though, granted, they're going to be on the West Coast. Well, in January it gets dark early still, so no, they'll be fine. Yeah, no, this should be really fun if they do eventually ever go to this. So that's what it's supposed to look like on the outside, which is wild.
I don't know if I like the outside of it.
It looks like a big sailboat. There.
It looks like a soccer stadium to me.
Look at that shot, though. That's wild looking. That thing looks massive.
It looks like a soccer stadium.
I can see that. It looks massive, though. But if, like I said, if this whole thing is a screen, holy smokes.
Since Saturday said, did you guys see the Bray Wyatt documentary yet? Yep. I am halfway, and I know Tim has seen it.
Yep. And I don't know if you've seen it or not, but last 30 minutes, you're gonna cry. I cried the entire last 30 minutes.
I'm halfway where they're talking about him doing stuff with The Rock at Mania. But that's all I'm gonna say. Honestly, like the part where they're talking about like Actually, I changed it. Take it back. But like, I know like the part where they're talking about him being FCW. Like, I thought that stuff was pretty good.
Yes. Him being an FCW, him being Husky Harris, and how, him being Husky Harris actually kind of motivated him to not be someone like that and actually do better. And like, oh, if this is all they think of me, I'm going to show them why they should think more of me.
And I know, like, I thought the part where they talked about like how he came up with the Bray Wyatt character was pretty shocking, actually.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I didn't even know that.
So moving forward, they show footage of Chad Gable training Sami Zayn at the WWE Performance Center. They watched tape on Gunther before Gable put Zayn through an extensive workout. Just when Zayn thought that he was done, Gable put him in a choke and Zayn tapped out. Zayn asked what the hell was going on, and they started to kind of go at it. They played some slow, somber music, and Gable was like, you think Gunther's going to care about you getting tired and exhausted? No, he's going to feed off of that. That's why I am not giving you any breaks here. We're not holding back. Zayn admitted, you got me. I'm afraid. I'm afraid of letting people down again and disappointing my family once again. I don't want to see that look on my wife's face. I don't want my son to cry like your daughter did. And Chad's like, well, then we need to get training. They played the inspirational music, and they continued to go. Gable tried to choke again, and Zayn this time countered it. They smiled and shook hands. So, is Gable screwing Sami at the pay-per-view at WrestleMania?
Honestly, this kind of made me think that Sami could win.
Oh, no. I think if it's straight up just Sami Gunther, Sami's winning. If there's no bullshit, Sami's winning.
Do you think they would put like Chad Gable on commentary for this match, or
no? No. And this is Saturday, right? WrestleMania is Saturday, yeah. But basically, you know what this segment was, right?
The Rocky.
They needed a Rocky thing for being in Philly, and this was the way they can make a Rocky segment.
What if they try to like imitate like the Rocky and Victor Drago scene?
I could see it. In the match, yeah, I could see it.
And they have like someone be like, throw in the towel, man, throw in the towel.
Oh. No, they wouldn't do it. Gable runs out and throws the towel in for him, and then Sami loses because Chad threw in the towel.
He wouldn't throw in the towel, but he would think about it.
They got it.
He wouldn't.
He throws in the towel, and at the last second, Sami dives and catches it before it hits the mat to actually count. And Sami's like, I ain't giving up.
I can see it.
So we go to the back, and Judgment Day are hanging out when all of a sudden, here's Legado del Fantasma. What the hell? Like, Dom brought him in, and Priest is like, Venica, come here. And he's like, what's going on here? You just doing more stuff without talking to us? We gave you the blessing to do the match. We said, hey, cool, go do what you got to do. You just keep pulling random crap. What are you doing, Dom? And Rhea's like, yeah, what's going on? And Priest is like, never mind. I got to go make a phone call. So I don't know who he was going to call. But Rhea wasn't happy. Judgment Day really wasn't happy with Dom at all that Legado was there in their clubhouse. Dom asked Ripley to go for it.
I mean, so I don't understand why Dominic is added to like the tag. I don't know why they're doing like a whole tag. Oh,
well, it's because
I understand the purpose.
Right.
I understand the purpose of it, but like I just don't know why they're doing a tag match at Mania. Why can't they just do straight up Ray versus Santos?
According to Meltzer, there might be more added to this match. Just saying.
And I'm not a big fan of Dragon Lee being part of the LWO.
But they've been, ever since Dragon Lee signed with WWE, they've been doing the thing of Ray is his hero. He wants to be linked to Ray. So, like, technically, they've been teasing him and Ray getting together for over a year and a half now.
But, like, I just feel like Dragon Lee should be one of those guys who should, like, be a big singles guy, not just a guy in a group.
Yeah, like Andrade. But Dom was like, I don't know why he's upset. And Rhea's like, well, I know why he's upset and this and that. And then Dom's like, can you talk to him for me? She goes, yeah, I'll see what's going on. Ripley's like, but you need to communicate better with us, Dom. But then we had Sami Zayn versus Bronson Reed. Match went about 12 minutes. Reed was in control until Zayn hit a sunset flip powerbomb out of the ropes for a 2. At this point, I was checking on the Iowa women's basketball game. Iowa was up about 10 over LSU at this point, and because I was like, oh man, this game's almost over. There's like 5 minutes left when this match started, and there was like a 10-point buffer to Iowa. So, because if anything's gonna hurt the Raw rating tonight, it's gonna be that Iowa game, that Caitlin Clark game. Zayn at one point hit a tornado DDT and got a 2 off of it. Zayn couldn't hit an exploder, so Reed responded with a twisting vertical suplex and a senton. Reed went to the top. Sami avoided a tsunami. Zayn then set it for a haluva kick, but stopped upon seeing Gunther drag Chad Gable out on the stage. Gunther went to the back, and Zayn left the ring to go check on Chad. Gunther then ran back out and attacked Sami, causing the disqualification. Gunther then beat him down and posed with the Intercontinental Championship. Gunther was then about to leave, but Sami tried to fight back. He got to his feet. Gunther did, and then, Sami, again, like I said, got to his feet, and Gunther just knocked him on his ass. So, what do you think of this match? There's more of the segment after than the match itself.
I feel like this match, they focus more on the segment after, which I thought the segment after was awesome.
And also, I'm saying this match ended in a DQ, but I don't know that for a fact because I assume it. They never rang the bell, and there was never an official announcement.
Right.
So Jey Uso ran into Lil Wayne in the back. Jey invited him to come to WrestleMania in Philly, and he accepted. Lil Wayne initiated that we'd be hearing some new music from him possibly at WrestleMania. Yeah,
what if Lil Wayne?
What?
Oh, never mind. I was thinking of somebody else because I think last year it was Lil Uzi Vert that sang their entrance.
Yeah, Uzi Vert. I don't know. I don't know who Uzi Vert is.
I kind of know some of his music, but
I just know that, like I said, I only know that song because A, from WrestleMania, and B, it was in Blue Beetle.
I just want to rock.
I just want to rock. That's all I know. I don't know any more of the song either.
Was Blue Beetle any good?
No. If you
was that a DC movie?
Yes, and if you've never watched it, I would say don't waste your time.
A lot of DC movies have been kind of letdowns lately.
Well, they're filming the next one. Hopefully Superman is way better.
Did you see the recent Flash movie?
Yes, it was okay. Another one where I'm like, if you don't watch it, you're not missing anything.
It was okay, but it was very emotional.
Yeah, true. I'm just saying, I hope this new Superman's good because one of my favorite actors ever is in it. Nathan Fillion playing old Green Lantern. Guy Gardner. But Damage Control shown arriving earlier, and then they make the announcement of, hey, Rock's inducting his grandma into the Hall of Fame this weekend. One cool thing about his grandma and his grandfather being in the Hall of Fame together, his grandmother died in 2008, but not before being able to see the induction of High Chief Peter Maivita at the 2008 WWE Hall of Fame. She was there in the crowd. She then died later that year, so that's a cool thing that she was there to see Peter get inducted when The Rock inducted Peter and his dad at the same time.
I saw the only reason why I knew his grandma was from Young Rock because they talked about her a lot in the beginning.
Well, through the whole show, she's an integral part of most of the show. But yeah, Pat McAfee said the same thing. He's like, I've learned a lot about Leah Maivia through watching Young Rock, which I love the Young Rock. They canceled it after 4 seasons, but I thought it was a great show.
My favorite part of his grandma on that show was, I think it was The Rock's grandfather's last match. It was his farewell match, and he was upset that Lars was gonna have was gonna beat his grandfather in that match.
Oh yeah, that's the whole thing. Yeah. Then she ends up hiring the guy years later to work for her, and yeah, half of that was true because The Rock's mom never started her own thing to run against grandma. That's not true. None of that's true. What's was Ata Johnson, Rock's mom, never ran any wrestling company in Hawaii or anywhere. So that whole thing where it's like, oh yeah, the Rock's mom ran her own company against her mom, that's not true. That was all made up for the show, but it made for compelling television.
What about the part of like his grandfather was supposed to lose though like in this match? Was that part true?
Oh, that I don't know. I just know that the Rock's mom never actually ran her own shows. But there was a lot of stuff on that you can tell wasn't real. Like, they made it seem like Macho Man and Andre and Sheik were there way more than they actually were. Like, they weren't working Hawaii every other weekend or once a month like they made it seem. They came in for a couple big shows, and that was about it. Especially Andre.
They made like Andre seem like he was a babysitter for The Rock.
Exactly. They made it seem like Andre was there all the time, which ain't true. So
I think what else was I know the college football part was pretty interesting about him and Ray Lewis.
yeah, that's all true, I believe. Well,
Yeah, that's all true.
To an extent. We don't know per se if like the conversations and the interactions they actually had were 100% real, but we would assume to an extent they were all pretty close to as real as you can get. But we know they were like teammates and this and that and all that stuff.
Yeah.
So we then move forward. We have a 3.5 match. It's a 3.5 minute match. Ivy Nile and Maxine Dupree against Candice LeRae and Indy Hartwell. Early on, LeRae knocked Nile off the top rope behind the referee's back, a thing that frequently happens in matches and doesn't cause a DQ, so I don't know why the ref needed to be distracted for this, but whatever. Indy gets confused. Like, what are you doing? She confronts Candice, and that leads to Maxine drop kicking Indy into Candice, knocking Candice off the apron, rolling up Indy and pinning her to win the match. Candice is pissed off afterwards and literally goes, "Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me, Indy? You lost? And you lost to Maxine of all people?" And Pat McAfee's on commentary like, "Hey, you calm down a little bit there, Candice." So, yeah. I still don't know where exactly this all is going to lead to in the end, but it's something.
It's basically just like Candice is a heel. Indy kind of doesn't want to be a heel, but it's eventually going to lead to like Indy gonna turn heel, but it's like she's gonna turn heel slowly.
What if this actually leads to Maxine getting a big singles win over Candice LeRae to show us, hey, no, Maxine is good. Maxine doesn't suck. You know what I mean? You have Candice talk down to and belittle Maxine so much that eventually they have a match and Maxine beats Candice. Now, granted, no offense, it's only Candice LeRae. It's not like she's beating Bianca Belair or Rhea Ripley or even like a Natalya.
Yeah, I like Candice LeRae.
Oh, and I do too. I've loved Candice LeRae for decades. I've followed her career since well before WWE. But it's like, to the normal fan of watching Raw, you don't see her as like, oh my God, if you beat Candice, you're something. You know what I mean? She doesn't have the big name of a Rhea, a Natty. It's not like when Natty goes to NXT and somebody in NXT gets to have a match with Natty or even beats Natty, it's a big deal. It's like, oh, you beat Candice LeRae. The best thing she's ever done is got a shot at the NXT Women's Championship. Yeah, I mean, they held the tag titles, but still, it's like, meh.
I mean, I feel like this would only just try to give sympathy to
exactly what it is. Moving forward, Jey Uso told Seth Rollins, "Hey, I'm here. If you need me later, I got your back." And then they walked off together. Natalya then talked about her favorite WrestleMania moment, and she said, "I'm a little biased, but it's family. It's Owen versus Brett." She advised any aspiring wrestler to watch this match. Then we got a really cool Drew McIntyre video package. He delivered the eulogy. He delivered a eulogy while at a funeral home, standing over a casket. He buried CM Punk before moving on to Seth Rollins. He said Rollins developed his whole personality based on Jared Leto's Joker. McIntyre then planned on taking the broken down workhorse, or taking him out and putting him down once and for all at WrestleMania by taking the championship from him. So I like the segment. It was different. It was unexpected. It was cool. What'd you think? I know we talked about it a little bit already, but what'd you think?
I know when I saw like the man bun, I in the beard, like I honestly like really thought that like, oh, are they like doing a Bo Dallas vignette? Which I know if they did that with like the casket, I thought to me that'd be like, oh, this is bad.
Right.
Like they shouldn't be doing that. But at the same time, once I saw the shoe, I was like, oh, thank God. Because like, could you imagine if they actually did that with Bo as a vignette?
Yeah, that wouldn't be good. Nope. Moving forward, they let us know that the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal will be taking place this week on SmackDown. And if you want to know who's going to be in the match, it is Andrade, Ricochet, Chad Gable, Bronson Reed, Shinsuke Nakamura, Omos, Apollo Crews, JD McDonough, Otis, Akira Tozawa, Ivar, Julius and Brutus Creed, Cedric Alexander, Ashanti the Adonis, Kit Wilson, Elton Prince, Cameron Grimes, Veer, and Sangha. So out of that, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 guys I could see winning. Andrade, Ricochet, Gable, Bronson Reed, Nakamura. Something for some reason tells me Ricochet, because they've been giving him a bunch of wins recently and whatnot. If I'm going to make a guess, Ricochet or Andrade. Who do you think?
I would say Andrade just because he returned and they probably want to make him look strong since he just returned. I don't think it's Ricochet because I feel like they'll probably do a part where he eliminates JD and JD comes back and screws over Ricochet.
That makes a lot of sense.
Bronson Reed, I can see him just to have like a big dude win it. But if I had to guess, it would probably be Andrade.
Moving forward, speaking of Ricochet, we had a 10-minute Ricochet match. Ricochet took on Ivar. So it's good to see that Ivar's all healthy. Because remember last week, Ivar was supposed to face Andrade. They said he wasn't medically cleared, but he's medically cleared this week. So that's good to see. 10-minute match that not a lot happened. Ricochet fought back early on. Well, actually, there's a break in the middle of this, and not much happened before the break. Then after the break, Ricochet was fighting back. Hit a beautiful-looking dive. Ivar responded with a sit-out powerbomb for a 2. Ivar then hit a Tour of the Islands and a springboard crossbody for a 2. Ivar tried a corner splash, but Ricochet literally caught him, hit him with a follow-away slam, 630, and picked up the victory. What'd you think?
That was pretty good. I really did.
Yeah, I liked it.
Also, Bangs in the Twitch chat said, wasn't Ricochet wanting Logan Paul? Whatever happened to that?
Well, true. Maybe that's kind of another reason why I think maybe you can have Ricochet win. Because then he goes, hey, I got a big win here in the Battle Royal.
Yeah.
So.
Do you know I keep seeing like all over like Twitter and stuff?
What's up?
So people are making like early like match predictions for SummerSlam in Cleveland. And for some reason a lot of people think it's gonna be Cody versus Logan Paul.
Huh? Why?
Probably because Logan Paul announced the SummerSlam location.
Logan Paul's from Cleveland, but why would you have him face Cody? If here's my thing.
If Cody's the world champion, though.
I knew that's where you were going, but no. If Cody's the world champion at SummerSlam and he is available, it should be Cody and Rock. Because if Rock pins Cody on Saturday, then you have a built-in Rock-Cody match there if Cody wins the belt. Then Rock can face Cody at SummerSlam and Cody can beat The Rock.
But there's also that slight chance because what if in Cody versus Roman, Rock turns babyface again?
I mean, there's a chance, but I think
if he doesn't turn babyface, then it could be Rock versus Cody.
Yeah,
at SummerSlam.
So we go back to the judge.
I do think Logan Paul will for sure have a match at SummerSlam in Cleveland.
Oh yeah, for sure.
But I guess for some reason everyone kept thinking like if Cody's the champion, it's probably gonna be Logan Paul versus Cody.
Hell, for all we know, he's still the U.S. champion by then. You know, there's a chance.
I don't know. I would probably have him drop it to Kevin Owens.
I wouldn't hate it.
I feel like Kevin Owens should win the belt at Mania.
Also, remember, guys, if you want to get your comment, question, or concern read live on the air, do so by submitting a super chat in the live chat on YouTube. We go back to the Judgment Day.
Actually, just thought of something.
Go for it before we talk about this Judgment Day segment.
So, what if Kevin Owens wins the United States belt at Mania and Sami won the IC title at Mania?
That'd be cool.
And whoever's match is last, like they have one of them like come out and celebrate with them with both their belts.
Oh, you mean like Eddie Guerrero and Chris Benoit at the end of WrestleMania 40 or 20? I mean, we're on 40. That's how WrestleMania 20 ended. Benoit won the World Heavyweight Championship. Eddie then came out and they celebrated together. They're on separate nights. The Sami IC title match is night 1. The U.S. title triple threat is night 2.
I can see it.
So
I know a lot of people would compare it to Eddie and Benoit, but
right.
I feel like that would probably be the only thing that would prevent them not to do it.
Kinda, maybe. So we go to the back with more Judgment Day. Priest still pissed off and wonder why Judgment Day hasn't handled Ricochet. Fowler said that his bruised up face wondered what kind of name Ricochet was anyways. Dom said that he has just the person in mind for the job, and in comes Andrade. Dom also says, Andrade, Santos, Andrade. They shook hands. Dom then told Andrade, hey, take care of Ricochet for us. We'll make you an official member of the Judgment Day. Andrade wondered if they needed him to take care of their business, and Dom's like, no, we want you. Rhea said that she heard Lynch was on her way to the ring, and so she needed to go deal with her. Priest was still annoyed that Legado del Fantasma was around playing darts in their little crammed locker room hangout clubhouse. And yeah, I don't know, whatever. This is a whatever segment. Just tells us that we're getting something Ricochet Andrade soon, probably next week on Raw.
Probably.
So maybe your thing of JD screwing Ricochet out of the Battle Royal plays into maybe JD and Andrade working together to screw out Ricochet, to eliminate Ricochet or something.
Wasn't Andrade supposed to be a babyface though on the main roster?
I think in the end, this is going to be him being a babyface, where he's not going to want to join Judgment Day, and eventually he feuds with like Priest or something.
I can see him feuding with Dominic or something.
Maybe
it's like I'd rather be with your dad or something.
I can see that.
Or like if Priest is the world champion, cashed in successfully, Andrade versus Damian Priest for the world title.
There you go. So then we get this just wild segment with Becky and Rhea. Lynch storms down to the ring like she's going down to the ring. And she's like, Rhea Ripley, I know you're here. Let's do this now. And Adam Pearce comes out and goes, no. Ain't going to happen tonight. You're going to wait till WrestleMania. I ain't jeopardizing either of you getting hurt, something happening, and you can't compete. And then Rhea just runs down. Pearce is like, Rhea, stop. Rhea, don't do it. And there's like 15 security guards, and Rhea busts through all of them. Her and Becky start brawling. Lynch tackles her down. Security gets in the way. Lynch fought them all off with hits a dive, wiping everybody out, Rhea included. Security then pulled them apart, and Adam Pearce was yelling at them. They then show Damage Control in the back. They said they're the most dominant women's faction of all time. And at WrestleMania, they will prove to Naomi, Bianca Belair, Jade Cargill, and Bayley why they are the future. They were at Raw tonight to see if anybody can prove them wrong. And they did have a 6-woman tag. Also, they went back and showed Becky and Rhea fighting more in the back. Was that before or after this tag match?
I think that was after. I think.
Yeah. I didn't write it down, but I remember it happening. I'm looking at my notes and I'm like, wait, there was another little pull part with Becky and Rhea, but I didn't write down when. So we have a 6-man tag or 6-woman tag here. It's Damage Control against Tegan Nox, Zoe Starks, and Shayna Baszler. Come on, Triple H. Give me the NXT Shayna Baszler. Please, all mercy. Give me your 2018 NXT Shayna Baszler. She'd be so amazing on the main roster.
Dude, what is with like a lot of these like NXT wrestlers who are like so dominant in NXT, then on the main roster, they're still not like doing as great, even under Triple H.
Hey, your guess is as good as mine. I'm baffled.
Shayna, Karrion Kross. Who else? Like pretty deadly.
I wouldn't say they were super dominant. They got a really good. I mean, they had a good push.
UK titles for a while.
Yeah, but a lot of those UK reigns were very long. That was just a thing they did for the UK brand, long title reigns.
What? Who else was another one? I almost said Tegan Knox, but
well, no, she never had a championship.
Who else?
I mean, the only one is Rhea, really. Like Bianca did well in NXT, but they never pushed her as a champion or anything. And then Io as well. Io had a good run as a champion. But then it's like, you look at all the NXT champions from the black and gold. It's like Ciampa, Black, Drew McIntyre, and Andrade. So Drew was another one that did well.
Tommaso Ciampa, like, I mean, they're using DIY like
now,
pretty decent. Now they are.
So,
who else? Kyrie, Asuka.
Yeah, Asuka. Asuka's probably the biggest one. So as far as the 6-woman tag goes, it went about 9 minutes or so. Babyface team all hit German suplexes on Damage Control. And then Damage Control just like took over. There was a break at one point. Not much happened before the break, but after the break, Stark hit Asuka with a German suplex and hit Zayn with a missile dropkick. Knox tagged in and hit a cannonball on Asuka. Hit a cannonball, went for the pin, and Asuka broke it up. Everyone then started trading moves until Kai hit Knox with a running corner kick. Asuka held Knox down while Zayn hit a great-looking elbow and pinned her to pick up the victory. Crowd did not care. That's the bad thing about this. Crowd did not care. They were pretty dead.
Oh, yeah. I mean, would Tegan Knox, like, do you think she'd be someone who would, like, that would benefit her, like, character if she went back down to NXT for a little bit?
100%. I would love that.
Because I'm trying to think of, like, besides her, who is someone else that should, like, have another run in NXT for a little bit for, like, character development? I'm pretty sure we said Karrion Kross for a little bit.
Yeah. Pull up the roster. Let's see. Pull up the active roster, the main roster. First, we look at Raw. I mean, they tried to do it with Apollo Crews, but he fizzled. Like, they brought him back down there. He was doing some good things. Then they called him back up as a free agent or whatever, and nothing happened there. But
yeah, that was a weird one.
Nikki Cross, maybe.
I totally forgot about Nikki Cross.
Yeah.
Who else?
That's the Raw roster. Look at the SmackDown roster. Only one I can see on the Raw roster is Nikki Cross. Look at SmackDown. Oh my God. Did you see the stuff on Twitter over the weekend with freaking Isla Dawn and Mickie James?
What?
Basically, Mickie James telling Isla Dawn to come to see her and Nick Aldis. And basically, oh, fuck, man. Mickie James trying to set up a fucking threesome with her, Isla Dawn, and her husband, Nick Aldis.
Oh, yeah, because they did that like scene where Nick Aldis was like staring at her.
I think so. Yeah, they made it sound like Isla wanted to come see them in Nashville. And then Mickie was like, yeah, we could have some fun. I'm like, damn, this thing got kinky real quick. Just looking here, Cedric Alexander, maybe. Put him and Ashanti in NXT to build them as a tag team. Like, we don't know what they are as a tag team, so maybe throw them in NXT to build up what their tag team actually is. So that's one. Or 2, technically.
Whew. Hyper Niven.
Yeah. I mean, however, since her and Chelsea lost tag titles, they kind of did like a couple matches and then just it died out.
What about what about the Viking Raiders once Eric is cleared?
I think they're almost like their gimmick is too big for NXT. I don't know. I just feel like they would feel. I don't know. I just feel like they wouldn't fit right with NXT. Something about it it feels like, I don't know. They don't need it. I think they just need to get. I think Eric hasn't been healthy really since Triple H has been in charge. So we haven't seen Viking Raiders as a tag team on the main roster under Triple H yet. So we got to give that time till once Eric returns.
I think I found another one.
Who you got?
Cameron Grimes.
I was thinking that, but it's like, what more can they really do with him in NXT? By the time he was called up, he was just doing nothing in NXT anyways.
He had that rivalry with Joe Gacy, and that was it.
Yeah.
Like they're not doing anything with him on main roster.
He's in the Battle Royal Friday.
Like they had that like quick win with him against Baron Corbin, but that was about it.
Yeah.
And they had something with him and Dragon Lee against Theory and Waller.
Yep. So moving forward, Michael Cole told us, we talked about this already, we got 30 hours of WWE programming coming this week. They ran down the cards for WrestleMania, which we're going to talk about later. So I'm not going to run them down now. We're going to give our predictions, actually, after we finish talking Raw. Kathy Kelly, I don't know why I almost said Kelly. Kathy Kelly interviewed Seth Rollins as he walked through the back to the ring. She wondered why he accepted this match so close to WrestleMania. Rollins said that he only had one gear, pedal to the metal. And he always has a plan B. Rollins then keeps walking. We get a one shot here. And he sees Drew McIntyre. And Rollins just goes, I ain't dead yet. He walks off. And McIntyre yells, yet. I love that. The way McIntyre's just like, yet. So they announced some of the events coming up for WrestleMania this week. And they said on the kickoff show or whatever, the countdown, we got this person and Big E and CM Punk. And Pat McAfee goes, oh, CM Punk's been talking a lot right now. And I love it. I'm like, oh, yeah, he's been talking a lot today. So this then leads to a Bloodline Rules match, Seth Rollins versus Solo Sikoa, that ended well. It just ended. There was no formal ending. By the time The Rock came out, it was just, yeah, kind of like that Sami match. There was no definitive call to end it. So immediately they just start fighting. Like they're just fighting and going at it and brawling and this and that. They try to go for a table spot, and Solo put Rollins through a table with a middle rope Samoan drop about 5 minutes into the match. After a break, Solo was still in control, but he missed a running hip attack and collided with the steps. Rollins then smashed the steps on Solo's face. Rollins set up a table in the ring and tried to suplex Solo, but Solo cut him off. Rollins then fought back and hit a sunset flip powerbomb through the table. Rollins then hit a curb stomp, but out would come Jimmy Uso. Remember, Bloodline Rules, no disqualification. Jay would then make his way out to even the odds. They fought to the back, and then out would come The Rock. The Rock attacked Jay, and then marched down to the ring. Rock then stared down Seth Rollins as the crowd chanted for Cody. Rollins smiled, and in fact, out came Cody. Cody came down with a bandage over his right eyebrow. Right eyebrow. He went straight after The Rock. The crowd cheered. Rollins assisted Rhodes in setting up The Rock on the announce table. It looked like Cody was going to send him through the table with a rock bottom, but out came Roman. Roman actually never left. Or came back, we don't know. Rollins then attacked Reigns, but Reigns got the better of him, threw him into the ring post. They then threw Cody face first into the ring post. Roman then got in the ring, hit Rollins with the Superman punch. He then threw Cody in the ring, Rock did, and Reigns hit Rhodes. So many R names here. Rock, Reigns, Rhodes, Rollins. Reigns hit Rhodes with a great looking spear. Rock then took off a new weight belt, a blue one that said Nightmare on it, and beat the ever-loving dog piss out of Cody and Seth with this weight belt and just kept beating them. They ripped Cody's shirt off. They hold him down. They beating him. Crowd starts chanting for CM Punk like he's going to come out and make the save. Yo, okay. They then start chanting Rocky sucks. And one of the last things we see is Wise Man hands Roman his undisputed belt. He holds that up. Rock holds up the weight belt. And the show goes off the air. What'd you think of the Bloodline Rules match?
Well, the match was decent, but the ending, like with Rock and Roman, was pretty good.
Yeah.
Like, this segment wasn't as good as like the Rock and Cody stuff last week.
Mm-hmm.
It was not as good, but this was still pretty good. But I will say it's pretty hard to top that, though.
Oh, yeah.
The Rock and Cody stuff.
That's for sure.
Like, this segment still did the job, though.
Oh, 100%. If you are watching live on Twitch, the poll is now live for you guys to vote. So go vote up there. And yeah, that is Monday Night Raw. That is everything that took place on tonight's Red Branded show on the USA Network. The final Monday Night Raw before as Santino would say, WrestleMania. As far as what you guys thought of the show, you know what we thought? You know what we thought, the two of us. Now it's time to hear what you guys thought of the show. So let's go refresh all these polls. Remember, guys, we aren't done, though, because after we talk about the polls, we're going to do some predictions for WrestleMania. Now that the card is basically set, there could be some changes. Like Meltzer did say that there might be a change to the LWO versus Legato match. But for what we know, everything is set night 1, night 2. So as far as the Threads poll does go, 73% liked the show, 20% thought it was just all right, and 7% didn't like it. Looking at the Twitter X poll, 75% liked the show, 20% thought it was just all right, and 44% didn't like it. As far as the YouTube community poll goes, 84% liked it, 11% thought it was just all right, and 5% didn't like it. From the comments here, it says, Old Raw, Old Raw, heart, times damn fun, and good WWE. Okay. This person says 10 out of 10. This person says 7 out of 10. This person says, all in caps, the world does not fucking revolve around Dwayne Johnson. And then
That's funny.
This person says, I liked it. It's the Bloodline show now. As far as the live poll does go, 79% liked the show, 17% thought it was just all right, and 4% didn't like it. Most of these polls basically the same. So that's good to see. And everybody that voted on Twitch liked the show. So, this weekend is WrestleMania. WrestleMania 40 from Lincoln Financial Field in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. And we know what? All 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 matches. I feel like we're missing something here. I'm looking at the Wikipedia. Is it 13? I thought it was going to be 14 by the time we get everything said and done. But no, I guess it is 13. 13 matches are set for WrestleMania. We know what matches are happening on night 1. We know what matches are happening on night 2. And we're going to give you a rundown of that and some predictions as far as what we think could be happening at WrestleMania. So let's start with night 1. And we don't know the order of matches. These are random orders. All we know is Bloodline tag matches, the night 1 main event, and Roman Cody's the night 2 main event. But as far as night 1 does go, first off, we do know that Rhea Ripley will be defending the WWE Women's World Championship against Becky Lynch, Luke. You got Rhea or Becky?
It's kind of a tough one to predict because, I mean, I could see Rhea holding the belt longer, but at the same time, when she goes into Mania, I think she's already like broken the record as long as reigning women's champion. I think that's correct.
Well, she's the only one that's held this women's world championship, to be honest. But no, I know as of tomorrow, she will have had the title for 1 full year.
Oh yeah, I think it's the full year is what I was talking about.
Tomorrow, April 2nd.
So, but at the same time, it's like if she beats Becky, who's gonna beat her?
True.
So that's the tricky part. So I'm gonna go Becky on this one.
I'm going to have to disagree there. I'm going to say Rhea Ripley actually retains the championship.
Actually, I didn't think of something because I don't think Becky re-signed with WWE yet. I think that's the only thing that's actually probably keeping her from winning the belt.
So on that, Becky said that they haven't even started talking to her yet. So even if she wants to re-sign, she hasn't had an opportunity to yet because they haven't talked to her about a new deal yet. So.
Yeah, I'm going to change mine to Rhea, actually. I didn't think about that. I didn't think about the whole contract thing because if she did re-sign and they talked about it and they talked to her and she re-signed, then they could be like, we'll reward you with the women's championship.
Well, here's the thing, though. Becky's contract presumably is up at the end of June. They've got Money in the Bank win. Is that June or July?
I want to say July.
Money in the Bank 2024. Oh, it's July. Never mind. I was going to say if it's June, they could just take the title off her with Money in the Bank, but never mind.
I don't think June has a premium live event.
Oh, they do, which I forgot to talk about earlier. It's going to be Clash at the Castle, June 15th. They're announcing the location tomorrow. I think based off of the logo being blue, Scotland.
That'd be kind of cool.
They're announcing the location tomorrow, though, for Clash at the Castle 2024. So, yeah, you're switching yours to Rhea?
Yeah, I'm going to switch mine to Rhea.
I'm going to write these down, too, so we can keep track. So, Rhea Ripley for both of us. Moving forward with the WWE Intercontinental Championship on the line, we do know that Gunther will be defending against Sami Zayn. I'll take this one and say Sami Zayn is going to win the Intercontinental Championship for the third time, fourth time. How many times has Sami been Intercontinental Champion?
I think 3.
This would be
Go
for it. He
held the belt 3 times, so this would be his 4th time.
Correct. He's a three-time Intercontinental Champion. So this will be number 4. I'm saying Sami wins the belt. What do you got?
So before the segment on Raw, I was gonna say Gunther, so that way they could probably have him hold the belt till either Clash at the Castle or Berlin. But I feel like with all the Sami stuff, of like all the vignettes and stuff, it's making me believe it could be Sami.
Yeah. So is that your pick?
I feel like WrestleMania is like a good spot to have Gunther lose the belt, so that way you can have him like give it. Because like after Mania is the best time to like rebuild like wrestlers.
Yes.
So I feel like it would also be a perfect spot to like rebuild Gunther and try to put him into the world title picture. So I would say put the belt on Sami.
Sami Zayn. Next up, in a 6-pack tag team ladder match with the undisputed WWE Tag Team Championships on the line, Judgment Day, Finn Balor and Damian Priest will be defending against DIY, Johnny Gargano and Tommaso Ciampa, The Awesome Truth, The Miz and R-Truth, The New Day, Kofi Kingston and Xavier Woods, A-Town Down, Austin Theory and Grayson Waller, New Catch Republic, Pete Dunne and Tyler Bate. Who's walking out with these tag team titles? Who's climbing the ladders and grabbing the titles?
It has to be Awesome Truth. It has to be Awesome Truth. If you don't have R-Truth climb the ladder and win the tag belts, you messed up.
Yeah, no, I'm saying it right now as well. R-Truth and The Miz, Awesome Truth, winning them tag titles, and that place is gonna go bananas.
The place is gonna go nuts for Truth. Truth is on fire right now. You have to put the belt on him.
Yeah. So next up, we got a couple non-title matches here. We got Jey Uso versus Jimmy Uso. Now, as far as who wins this match, this is a tough one. I can see it going either way, but because Jey is the singles guy right now, I'm going to say Jey Uso picks up the win. What do you got?
Yeah, I kind of say it has to be Jey. I mean, Jay's another guy who's kind of on fire with the fans right now. Like, he's more the singles guy. Jimmy, he's basically just a guy with Roman right now.
Yep.
So I kind of feel like just give it to Jey so it would benefit him more as like a singles guy. Unless they want to like continue the Jey and Jimmy stuff, then have Jimmy win. But I feel like they'd probably just finish it with having Jey win.
Right. Moving forward in a 6-woman tag team match, it's Bianca Belair, Jade Cargill, and Naomi taking on Damage Control's Dakota Kai, Asuka, and Kairi Sane. What you got?
I got Bianca, Naomi, and Jade Cargill. It's Jade's like first. I wouldn't say her first match because she's in the Royal Rumble, but like her first like match. It would have to be the baby faces.
So I'm going to agree there and add a little to that. I say it doesn't really matter who pins who. I just say the baby faces win, and then you take 2 of them and they challenge Damage Control after WrestleMania for the women's tag titles. So you're setting up number 1 contenders for those women's tag team championships in the future. But I say the baby faces do beat the Damage Control.
I think personally, the 2 number 1 contenders should be Bianca and Naomi.
Yeah, I agree.
Because I think they kept teasing that they're probably going to team together.
Right. Moving forward, the LWO, Rey Mysterio and Dragon Lee taking on the team of Santos Escobar and Dirty Dominic Mysterio. It's a tough one. I can see Rey getting the big win and all that and blah, blah, blah. Baby faces, LWO, cool. But something in me says Dom and Santos Escobar get the win. And I'm going to elaborate.
Personally.
I'm going to elaborate why I think that. Did you see on SmackDown when they announced Dragon Lee and Carlito just ever so slightly showed his displeasure but didn't want it to be fully known? I think Carlito screws the LWO and joins Legado. I'm going to say Santos and Dom. Who you got?
Well, before all that, like, I'm still pretty upset that they're doing a tag match because I feel like it always should have been Rey versus Santos in the first place.
Yeah.
Because I didn't think, because when I first saw that they're doing a tag match, I'm like, why are they doing a freaking tag match? Just do Rey versus Santos. They've been really building that forever.
Mm-hmm. Agree. Well, I mean, we technically got that on SmackDown.
Yeah, but then it ended in a DQ.
Yeah.
So I'm probably going to say Santos versus Dom because also I don't think Dominic is going to lose to Rey back-to-back Manias.
That's true. I didn't think about it in that route. Yeah, you're right. I didn't think about it that way. And rounding out night 1, we got the Bloodline, The Rock and Roman Reigns against Cody Rhodes and Seth Rollins. Bloodline or Cody and Seth? Who you got?
I got Roman and The Rock, so that way the main event of night 2 is going to be, it's going to be like so overbooked.
Yeah,
they're going
Bloodline.
To have like the Bloodline try to interfere in this. And I feel like that's the route they're aiming for. So I'd say Rock and Roman win against Seth and Cody. And also, I think Drew is gonna like screw over Seth and Cody by giving a Claymore kick to Seth at some point in the match.
I could see it. Drew come down and get involved. Yeah, I could see it. That's actually not a bad idea. I never thought about it that.
Like Drew hits Seth with Claymore while the ref isn't looking. He's down, and then maybe The Rock hits a rock bottom on Cody.
Yeah, I like that. I like having Drew involved.
Because there was a scene on SmackDown where in the background Paul was talking to Drew. I think that was 2 weeks ago.
Was that
or a week ago?
Was that SmackDown?
It was Raw, actually.
It was Raw last week.
Yeah.
Yeah. Drew McIntyre was talking to Paul Heyman in the background. Yep. That's night one. And as we move on to night two, speaking of Seth Rollins and Drew McIntyre with the WWE World Heavyweight Championship on the line, Seth Rollins will be defending against Drew McIntyre. I'm going to go Drew McIntyre wins the title. Drew defeats Seth. What do you got?
This really all depends on if Drew resigns.
Not technically, but I get what you're saying.
Because if he doesn't resign, like by Mania, then they're going to have Seth retain.
What's your pick?
Because this is a tough one, because I feel like Drew's one of those guys where they're not going to announce him resigning until, like, unless he wins the belt. Because they probably want to keep that a secret.
True.
So, you know what? I'll go Drew. Why not?
Here's why I say, new deal or not, you can go Drew. Because you have Damian Priest. You can have Drew win the belt. And before his contract is up, if he doesn't resign, you have Priest cash in. You give him that belt to entice him to resign, but you have your insurance policy behind you to get the belt off of him.
I didn't even think about it that way.
Yep. For the WWE Women's Championship on the line, Io Sky will be defending against Bayley. Who you got?
I'd say give it to Bayley. Have Bayley win. Because, like, Io, she held the belt long enough and she had a good reign. But I feel like at the end of the day, like Bayley's the babyface, damage control turned on her. So I feel like Bayley's probably going to get that big babyface win against Io.
Yeah, Bayley's going to overcome the odds, get the big win, and go from there as the champion on SmackDown. Bayley hasn't held a championship since the fans have been back. So
I didn't even think about that. Yeah, I didn't think about that actually. So I feel like this will probably be our first like big championship win since the fans have been back.
Now, granted, Bayley did miss a little bit of time with the injury, so she was out for some of that. But a good chunk of that injury time was no fans, if you think about it, though. So what did she miss? Like May, June, July? She missed like 3
She missed
months.
a whole year, I'm pretty sure.
Well, she missed a whole year, but only 3 of those months were with fans. If I'm thinking correctly. Because fans came back at WrestleMania. When did fans come back? Mania in Tampa, right? That was the first fans back?
Yeah.
And then she didn't come back till SummerSlam. So from April to August.
Well, she didn't come back to like SummerSlam of like 2022.
Oh, no. Hold on.
Because the Mania in Tampa, that was 21. That was like 2021.
I thought that's when she came back. I'll tell you right now. Trust the old Wikipedia. You could be right.
She was out like, yeah, because she didn't return until SummerSlam of 2022.
Yeah, you're right. I got my years mixed up.
Because I was there when she returned.
I got my years mixed up. You're right.
So yeah, I still think Bayley wins. Just give her like a big championship win in front of the fans again.
Same here. I'm going Bayley. With the WWE United States Championship on the line in a triple threat match, we do have Logan Paul defending against both Randy Orton and Kevin Owens. As far as this match does go, I would like to see Kevin Owens win, but for some reason, I'm going to say Logan Paul retains the title. What do you got?
I think Kevin Owens wins the belt here.
You're going KO?
Because here's the thing. You can still make Logan Paul like look strong in this match because you don't have to pin him.
Right.
Because like let's say Randy hits an RKO on Logan Paul. He's about to get the win, but then KO hits a stunner on Randy.
Not a bad idea, but something just tells me Logan Paul lost last year at WrestleMania, got beat by Seth. So this year, he's going to get that WrestleMania win.
Yeah, but Logan Paul's also not like a full-time guy.
Yeah, but he's a champion.
True, but I feel like even if you like lose the belt at Mania, I don't think it would affect him too much.
Oh, no, it wouldn't at all.
So I would say just have KO win and just have him pin Randy instead of Logan Paul, so you can still make him like look somewhat strong.
This is the first match we're not picking the same. Out of 1, 2, 3, 7, 10 matches so far, it's the first one we're not the same on.
Well, a lot of the matches
Pretty predictable.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He won. Actually, Logan Paul won WrestleMania 38 when he teamed with The Miz.
Well, yeah, I didn't say it. Well, yeah. But it's not like I didn't say he's never won at Mania. I'm just saying he lost last year at Mania.
Yeah.
So moving forward, we do have in a Philadelphia street fight, Bobby Lashley and the Street Profits against the Final Testament, Karrion Kross, Akam, and Razor, the authors of Pain. This one don't matter at all. I'm going to tell you right now, it don't matter who wins. But I say you give the big win to the baby faces. Bobby Lashley, Montez Ford, Angelo Dawkins, they pick up the victory. They haven't called him this yet, but I'm calling this the Pride gets the win. What do you got?
I'm going to say right now, the fans are not going to care about this match at all. Like, I would like to.
They're not going to care about it until someone goes through a table because it's a street fight.
Right. I would like, personally, from a fan point of view, I would like to see the Final Testament win because I absolutely love Karrion Kross.
So do I.
But if I had to predict, it's probably going to be Bobby Lashley and the Street Profits just to get him like the big babyface win and just to get the crowd hyped up.
And again, we don't know the order of matches. We just know what's night one, what's night two. Moving forward in a singles match, it's AJ Styles against LA Knight. I just thought about this. Both men's first names are initials. AJ, LA. But as far as the match does go, who do you got winning? LA or AJ?
We'll go LA Knight picking up the victory here.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, yeah. Now that I'm thinking about it, you're taking a lot of L's. AJ will be fine. I think if you beat him too much more, the shine's going to rub off on him.
Plus, I mean, the fans. Remember when the fans were like super hype on LA Knight and LA Knight still lost a lot of matches?
Yeah.
I feel like just have him win this one so you can give him like his first like big win, so fans could still give a reason to continue hyping up LA Knight.
So, first big win, or would you call his win with John Cena his first big win? The Fastlane match.
That was his first big win, but this will be like his first big premium live event win.
Right. Well, no, that was still a premium live event. That was Fastlane.
Yeah, but this is bigger though than Fastlane.
True. But I'm picking LA Knight as well. I feel like if you keep beating them too much, fans are going to stop caring. Like, they're going to like the stick and they're going to like chanting, yeah. But eventually it's like, well, this guy can never win matches. This guy can never win the big one. So,
right.
I'm going to go LA Knight as well. And rounding it all out, night 2 main event with the undisputed WWE Universal Championship on the line. It's Roman Reigns defending against Cody Rhodes. I'll let you take this one. Cody or Roman?
It's got to be Cody. If you're going to say Roman, you're dumb. You're dumb. It's got to be Cody. Okay. That would be kind of too harsh, but I'd say it has to be Cody.
I agree wholeheartedly. Cody Rhodes has to win this belt.
Because, like I said before, the only way that Roman would retain is just to overlap Hogan's longest reign.
Third longest reign.
Right.
Remember, Hogan's only in the third spot. Now, technically, Hogan's got the longest since WrestleMania has been a thing. That's what fans are trying to say. No, Roman's got to beat Hogan's Mania era record. Yeah, fuck all that shit. No, it don't matter if you're third place or you're fourth place. I think Cody is beating Roman, winning this title, and then moving on maybe to The Rock at SummerSlam. Maybe Gunther at Bash in Berlin. Clash at the Castle in June. I don't know. But
I would say at least have him hold the belt till Berlin.
What's first, Berlin or SummerSlam?
I think SummerSlam is first.
I'll look it up right here. Berlin is August 31st. SummerSlam is the beginning of August. Berlin's the end of August. I think Cody gets a decent 6-month reign. So if it's 6 months, May, June, July, August, September, October. Cody holds it till the fall. I think Cody holds it till the fall.
Yeah.
But yeah, we're both in agreement. Cody's got to win this belt.
Do you know what honestly could happen just to get fans to hate the Bloodline even more?
What?
What if they did the part where like everyone in the Bloodline is laid out, Cody's about to win, but then out comes Jacob Fatu, screws over Cody.
But this goes back to your thing you asked earlier with the Motor City Machine Guns. Would the majority of the WrestleMania audience know who Jacob Fatu is?
Hey, when Solo Sikoa debuted on the main roster, people didn't really know who he was, and he was in NXT.
That's exactly what I was going to say. He at least had a couple months, if not almost a year in NXT. He's former North American champion, by God.
No, he won the belt while he was in the Bloodline, though. Remember?
Oh, he did win it after, huh?
Yeah, because
that whole
he
thing was
debuted on
weird.
main roster. He debuted on main roster. Then they had him beat Carmelo Hayes for the NXT North American belt, just like finish off that rivalry.
Right.
And then he relinquished it like the next week.
But anyways, yeah. But yeah, no. I could see Cody winning. Cody's got to win this belt. Now it's just so convoluted because the story was not I have to beat Roman at WrestleMania or just even win at WrestleMania. It was just win the belt regardless of where and when. But now with him losing last year, they've shifted the story. The story's changed now. So it's kind of just like, yeah, he's got to beat Roman for that belt at Mania.
And what do they do? Like third time's the charm if he loses?
Oh, no. If he loses again, fans are not going to care. He can't lose. And if he does, they're going to have to wait quite a few years before they try again. They can
another year.
But not next year. I would not go 3 in a row. Granted, we do know that Cody signed a new contract for multiple years. He said that my new contract is past my 40th birthday, which is not next year. Because next year he turns 40. So it's not up next year. I think it's a 3-year deal, which would make it up in
I think next year he's 39.
No, this year he's 39.
No. Hang on.
I literally looked it up 2 days ago. Cody's 38 right now. Yeah, Cody turns 39 in June.
Oh, never mind then.
So if he's got a new deal, it's probably
he'll still be like 39 by next year's Mania, though.
Right, but I'm just talking about how long he's signed with the company because he signed a new deal till he's past 40. So he's signed till at least 2027, mid 2027 or so.
Right.
But with that, guys, that's WrestleMania. That's the card that we know as of right now. And yeah, if anything changes, we will let you guys know. We'll also be bringing you the betting odds throughout the week if those change as well. So WrestleMania should be fun Saturday and Sunday. Everything goes according to plan. I should have somebody on the WrestleMania reviews with me that you guys will enjoy.
Maybe Huey?
No, he'll be at WrestleMania.
Really?
Well, yeah, he gets sent there by the radio station he works for every year. And then he does interviews, sends them to me. I edit them for him, and then he posts them on his stuff. So yeah, I work with them. I work with them.
I forgot about that.
Yeah, I work with them for Mania content, helping them produce their Mania content. So that way he doesn't have to wait till he's back to post anything. He can get it posted quicker. So yeah. But no, Huey's going to be there at Mania. So we got somebody else that should be on with me both nights, I believe, if everything goes according to plan. But with that, I'm going to wrap everything up. I'll say thank you for joining us here. Twitch.tv/PWU Unlimited, YouTube.com/Pro Wrestling Unlimited, and podcast services all around the globe like Stitcher, Spotify, Google Pod, Apple Pod, Anchor, iHeartRadio, and so much more. Luke, tell them where they can find you.
You can find me over at Twitter X at Petke_21. And you can also find me over at Twitch at Young Grasshopper Luke.
With that, guys, have a great rest of your night, and we'll see you next time. Have a good one, guys.